I'm getting confused myself about terminology. First we have superchargers, then megachargers, then charging hubs, now megahubs. What's it all mean? What are the differences? Dave takes it on, introduces viewers to the different terms and focuses on Stoke-on-Trent as the first example. Later videos will look deeper into this because it seems there's a culture shift underway, and some of the old values are likely to suffer. It is a simple fact that all cars need to be refuelled. Petrol, diesel, LPG, hybrid, EV, none run forever, and at some point they need to be refuelled. And previously you had to go somewhere to get that fuel. Well, the first massive change from that pattern, used over the last 100 years, has been the introduction of EVs. Previously, you always, without fail, had to go somewhere to buy your fuel. Today's EVs can be charged at home overnight. Going to a petrol station has never been an enjoyable experience, best over and done with as quickly as possible. EVs do take longer, and rather than standing around while it charges, which is equally unpleasant, better facilities are now being offered. Well, I'm here today at Keele Services on the M6, northbound and southbound, about 160 miles from London and 150 miles from Carlisle. So for those heading from the southeast up to the Lake District or Scotland, or back from the Lake District to the southeast, this is likely to be around the point where the average EV will need to be thinking about charging. 150 miles is well within the capability of most modern EVs. And here on the M6 near Stoke, you must make your first choice: motorway services or EV charging hub. We all know motorway services, and the offering at Keele Services, just 6 miles from Stoke, is pretty average. Keele is a welcome break-owned services, northbound and southbound, between junctions 15 and 16. It also happens to be one of the oldest services in the UK. Unfortunately, it looks it too. It offers the obligatory specialist coffee, here Starbucks, not Costa. It offers fast food, Burger King, not McDonald's. Never both of them, you realise. You also get KFC and Subway for those who are tired of burger and chips. Get the standard shop, Boots or M&S or WH Smith or Waitrose. Always 2 of them, never all 4. And here WH Smith and Waitrose win through. And of course, toilets. Well, for Tesla owners who lived in or near Stoke, who couldn't charge at home and wanted to charge, had to get onto the motorway at junction 15, drive up to the services, charge, then jump back on the motorway up to junction 16 where they did a U-turn, then headed back south down the M6, leaving at junction 15. That was a bit of a nightmare. Prices you know very well in a motorway services are always higher, and the fuel price here is hiked by about 30 pence a litre. Luckily, EV charging is not price hiked. Nearly all charge the same here, or in a pub car park well off the motorway. Well, here GridServe have a couple of 50 kilowatt shared bay chargers, and Tesla is here also, and they have just 4 V2 150 kilowatt chargers with dual plugs, one CCS2 and one Tesla proprietary Leica Type 2. Older Tesla Model S and X cars only have the Tesla proprietary Type 2 socket, not CCS2, so we will normally choose the Type 2 plug. Newer Teslas can only use the CCS2 plug. Both get the same power, 150 kilowatts shared between the 2 bays, and these are labelled 1A, 1B, 2A and 2B. So if you plug into a charger and nobody is in the same number B charger, you get the full 150 kilowatts. But if B is also occupied, you share intelligently based on demand, not just 50-50. So the car with the lower state of charge will get a higher percentage than a car that's nearly finished charging. Well, non-Teslas have the choice here of either of the 2 GridServe twin bay chargers. One has twin CCS2 plugs, the other has a CCS2 and a CHAdeMO. Now, if the other bay is occupied, you'll get that 50 kilowatts shared, so don't expect to be in and out anytime soon. There's plenty of room available for wheelchair users, and they can approach the chargers directly. Pricing for GridServe is a standard 69 pence for all rapid and ultra-rapid chargers, though how a 50 kilowatt shared power charger can be classed as rapid, that beats me. There really is little to say here. If you've been to one of the older motorway services, you pretty much know them all. Rarely a surprise, Kiel is below average. It's got a tight entrance and exit to the car park. That's no doubt done deliberately to herd the caravans, trailers and HGVs to a totally separate area. They're very poor chargers. With such low power and numbers, queuing is most likely at busy times. Some facelifting has taken place, new frontage and a massive LED or LCD display, but overall rather tired and really in need of starting again. However, we have become accustomed to motorway services and treat them as a necessary evil. Get in and out as quick as you can and spend as little as possible. The really dedicated ICE driver might head off the motorway looking for cheaper petrol, but most just accept them for what they are and use them only when they have to. Well, at Stoke-on-Trent, there is a choice for EV drivers, a dramatic choice at that. And for this, you do need to get off the motorway, but only a few miles. Leave at junction 15 and follow the signs for Trentham Gardens. It is only a few miles and it's really well signposted. Trentham Gardens is what I call a charging hub and is designed for EV drivers as a very different alternative to motorway services. Accepting the fact that an EV takes anywhere between 20 and 60 minutes to charge, the chargers have been located in the car park of the privately owned gardens, and a small designer village has sprung up around it over the years. The chargers here all operated by Tesla and include the original 8 V3 chargers, each being 250 kilowatt with a single CCS2 cable and plug. There's no power sharing or power shared bays here. Originally restricted to Teslas only, the supercharger recently got a massive upgrade with the installation of 10 V4 chargers, and the whole site opened up to Tesla and non-Tesla alike. Anyone now with a CCS2 socket can charge here and get up to 250 kilowatts, not shared. The old V3 chargers are pre-opening up, so they have no screens or contactless and can only be accessed by non-Teslas via the Tesla app, which is a free download, and no membership is required, although one is offered. The new V4 chargers are totally different and they are aimed specifically at non-Tesla drivers. These have a small screen and a contactless terminal, although these also can be accessed via the app. For anyone interested, membership is offered at £10.99 a month and only via the app, and this reduces the prices per kilowatt hour down to the really cheap price that all Tesla drivers enjoy all the time. Here, off-peak, that's as low as 34 pence per kilowatt hour, while non-members pay around 46 pence. That's still a cracking bargain compared to others, which typically are charging 65 to 85 pence per kilowatt hour. Now for me, with a Model S and no CCS2 socket, I need to use an adapter. But let me reassure you new EV owners, or soon to be, all cars sold in UK or Europe since 2017 have the CCS2, and all chargers, Tesla or not, have a CCS2 plug. You're the lucky ones. You never need to use the adapter. Just beware, older EVs made before 2017 and some or maybe most Japanese cars might have a different plug and either not be able to charge at all or you will need an adapter. You do some checking, please. You have been warned. Plug in, then take a short walk into the designer village. It is advertised that there are 84 attractions. That's shops, cafes, hotels, and even an events venue. And not a single McDonald's or Costa in sight. The array of shops is staggering and the appearance takes you by surprise. I would call it rural, rustic and themed. The whole village matches, no matter what the product or service. So don't even look for a McDonald's or Costa, there are none here. In fact, the majority of shops could be labelled artisan. Apart from a few known brands, one stands out like Go Outdoors, These are all individual shops and offer a huge variety. The village is a little bit more like a small town and will take a good 5 to 10 minutes to wander from one end to the other. That's if you can do that without stopping. I bet you can't. But beware, even though the charging is cheap, many of those shops are not. So you need to keep an eye on your charging session. Tesla does charge an idle fee if you finish charging and then leave your car plugged in, depriving someone else. Just move it once charged to the free car park that's only a few feet away, and then you can get back to the shops and the cafes. You might even catch one of the garden's regular events. Even live bands perform here. Well, it really does make charging an experience, and it is designed to do so. There is a movement away from just charging as quickly as possible to get back on the road. Some of us, as we get older, prefer to take a bit more time, a leisurely stop, or even to use this as a day out during which you happen to charge your car. We can check the website for events, but the gardens are always open and they are huge. You can wander around for over an hour around the lakes and in the woods, or you can just sit and have a really leisurely lunch. Well, last time I was here, there was a circus complete with a big top. Well, this is chalk and cheese, and there is no answer as to which is the best. They're different. If you're on your way home, really eager to get there, then the motorway services is the obvious choice. But if you fancy a quieter, rustic stop, the gardens wins hands down. And this, happily, is a choice that we EV drivers will be facing more and more. New hubs are already open, like GridServe at Braintree and Essex, and more are opening up everywhere all the time. All offer maybe a half day or a full day out experience, one where charging might end up being just something we do while we're there having fun or shopping. Or shopping, which I don't regard as fun, more a compulsory pastime. Anyway, back to the motorway. I'm still a long way from home. I'm Dave.